Hi everyone, and welcome to Inside Bristol. I'm your host Sheridan Nichols, and joining me today I've got Moria Fraser Ostrander along with Amanda Hairston, and we've got a couple of beautiful ballerinas behind us. So they are from the Bristol Ballet, and we're going to be talking a little bit about the 75th anniversary. Who wants to start and tell us all about this?
Sure. So it is our 75th anniversary season. We were founded in 1948 by our founder, Constance Hardinge. So yeah, we've been here for 3/4 of a century, which is a huge milestone. So we are going to have a celebratory performance on August 26th at Paramount Bristol, and it will be a past, present, future theme, and it will have a celebratory reception, and then we will be reviving a ballet by Constance Hardinge from 1962 called Mountain Ballad. And we actually have two of our senior company members here, Emerson Gillespie and Lucy Paulson, and they are in costume for Mountain Ballad. And it will continue then with Unbroken Circle, which is a ballet to the music of the 1927 Bristol Sessions. And then it will end with Future. Amanda and I have co-choreographed two pieces.
Wow.
Yeah, so one, it has been. And one is to an Amethyst Kia piece called Myth, and one is to a Dolly Parton piece, My Tennessee Mountain Home.
Well, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, this is exciting. So how long will the production be, and how do we go about getting tickets and getting involved?
Sure. So again, it starts off with the reception in the lobby at Paramount. August 26th, it starts at 6 o'clock. You can visit the Paramount website, you can visit our website to get ticket information and to get tickets. The reception, roughly, we estimate will be about an hour, and then the same for the performance will be about an hour.
And now, how long have you been, rehearsing?
Goodness.
Several months. Most of our shows we spend about 3 months rehearsing, and that's been pretty similar for this one. It is a third show we don't normally do, so fitting that into the summer has been different, but it's been a lot of fun. Really
That's
rewarding.
Great. And I love the fact that you're doing the, past, future, present idea, like bringing it all together. 75 years, that's so fantastic.
Absolutely.
Now, did you all grow up dancing for Bristol Ballet?
I did. I danced with Bristol Ballet from, I don't want to give my age away, from age 3 until about 16. And yeah, it's been full circle for us both. We both have history with Bristol Ballet.
Yep. I did several productions as a teenager with Bristol Ballet, and then started teaching there after college. So we have a long history, both of us, with the organization.
So now, how many ballerinas are we going to expect to see on stage?
18, I believe, are in this show. We have about 100 students, but it's just our intermediate and advanced students that are in this particular production.
And if someone sees this and wants to get involved, what's the best way to do that, to find out like the classes that are upcoming in the fall?
Absolutely. So our classes start August 14th, and registration is open online now at bristolballet.org/registration. You can find all the information on our website as well. We offer classes for ages 12 months and up, so all the way from babies in our caregiver and child classes all the way up through adult ballet. So there's truly something for everybody. So we hope you all join us for our historic season.
I love it. 75 years. That's just amazing. I'm glad that you're doing something special. And girls, you look beautiful in costume. We can't wait to watch you dance around the stage, and it'll be beautiful. So anything you want to add that I might be missing?
I think that well sums it up. But we hope to see you at our 75th on August 26th.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for coming. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host Sheridan Nichols, and I've got Rebecca House with me today from Bristol, Tennessee City Schools, and it's school time again. I can't believe it. Going back to school shopping and getting all ready, but once you are back at school, safety is super, super important. So Rebecca's on here today to talk to us about that. Thank you for being with us today. So let's start with what we're doing for school safety.
Well, as you know, keeping our students and staff safe is our #1 priority always. And we have a great partnership with the Bristol, Tennessee Police Department, Fire Department, and all of our emergency responders. And we work throughout the school year. We've been working throughout the summer to plan and prepare what we need to do to make sure that we're doing everything we possibly can to keep our school safe.
So like with the beginning of school, what are some things that specifically we need to know? And
The best thing that we can all do, parents, students, community members, is to look out for each other. You hear the saying, if you see something, say something. And that is so true. And we have many ways that we provide for parents and students to anonymously report things, or obviously they can always go, students can always go to a trusted adult, or parents can go to someone within the school, or community members can go to someone in the school or to law enforcement. So we highly encourage that.
so the biggest thing is if you see anything unusual or hear anything, the best is speak up. Wow,
Absolutely.
okay. So, and you, I guess, would recommend that advice for both parents and students. Is there anything else that they can do to help with school safety?
Sure, absolutely. And when we talk about school safety, the kind of things we're talking about, anything that makes a student feel unsafe or makes a parent think that the schools may be unsafe, like bullying, harassment, a threat of violence against them, or if a child is thinking about harming themselves, these tools are the same for that. So we have several, like I said, anonymous reporting systems in place. Something we have new from last year, it's called the Safe Schools Helpline. And there are several ways to report to that anonymously, and it's available on our website, more information, and you can also report online on our district website on the homepage, and then on every school's website on the homepage. They can go and find all the information about that 24/7. It also has a mental health crisis helpline for if someone is contemplating harming themselves or just feels like they're in crisis. The other one is the Safety In app, and that's available all across the state of Tennessee for all school districts, all communities. It is in an app that's available at App Store or Google Play. And then the Bristol, Tennessee Police Department has a tips line. I believe that is 423-764-TIPS, TIPS, that's also anonymous. So there are multiple ways that parents and students can reach out to, report anything that they think might be potential harm. Because like I said, it takes all of us, and that's the number one thing we can do to keep each other safe.
And I know a lot of times in like the health classes, they are teaching these things to the students now, when, not to age us, but that didn't really happen as much when we were in school. It was, really focused on health education, but health education has become a whole new thing, including school safety. So I think it's nice, like, not only are we kind of educating the parents, like, hey, make sure you speak up, but the students too. So they know if they're not feeling right about something's going on with them, or they learn signs on how to recognize this.
Absolutely. I think technology has played a big role in that. You say that, the landscape has kind of changed on that. I think that technology has a lot to do with that and the environment they're dealing with now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think it's great that there are so many different outlets. So if you do hear of something or see something, the fact that you can text, you can call, you can go on an app, you can call a tip line. I mean, there's just a lot of ways so that there's, nothing is missed. And there's no reason. And I think you're right. People like to be anonymous a lot of the time. They just don't want to, I don't want to be involved, but here's what I've heard or seen. And so don't be afraid to, be that anonymous person if you hear or see something that needs to be reported. So, wow, lots to think about as we begin school. Are we missing anything? Anything you want to add?
Well, we have an SRO through the Bristol, Tennessee Police Department in every school, and those folks are phenomenal, and we're so thankful for them. So they're in partnership with all of these reporting apps, and on top of all that with our school administration. So that's one additional layer.
Yeah, that's great. The school resource officers are amazing. So we're really lucky that we have those in place and that they really care.
Yes.
And they get to know all of the kids, which is always incredible. They literally know everyone's names and everything. So it is nice that we have that extra layer of safety in place. We all do a very good job.
Thank
so
you.
we appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Of course, thanks for being on. And we'll be back in just a moment. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host Sheridan Nichols, and I've got Adina Parr with me today from Animal Control, and we're talking about it is still super hot out there, and how do we keep our pets safe in this heat? What are some good tips?
They need to have adequate food, water, and shade. If you have a large dog that's outside, get a kiddie pool or something so that they can play in it. And please do not take your pets shopping with you and leave them in the cars. We get numerous calls a week on people either at the Pinnacle or Walmart who have gone inside and left their pets in their car.
Yeah, I saw one this past week. I thought, oh my gosh, it was so hot. And the car was running. I thought, okay, well, that's a no-no too, really.
Most of the times when I've been there, the car is not running, so it's super hot and it's just very dangerous for the animals.
It is. I mean, they've only got like it's a very short time.
Yes.
So not only that, so don't do that. Leave the pets at home when you go shopping. You'll enjoy it more anyway. And then hydration. That's a real big one. You kind of keyed in on that. Like in terms of this time of year when the heat is extreme versus in the winter, do they drink that much more? And
Absolutely. They need to be watered at least once a day and have fresh water. You know, not the rainwater, just not that's not sufficient.
Not going to.
They need to have fresh water, and adequate amounts of it, not a small bowl for a large dog.
So kind of size appropriate with the dog. So when you're out patrolling, I'm sure you see all sorts of things. What's kind of the most common thing you see this time of year?
Dogs not having adequate shade. Besides having their doghouse, if it's 80, 90 degrees, they're not going to want to go in there. They need to be able to get in the shade, like either from a tree or some type of tarp or covering, so that they can get out of the direct rays of the sun.
Yeah, that's great. Good to know. And I guess when it's a really, really hot day, probably best to bring them in if they're an outdoor dog that's a big one that's maybe double coated.
If possible, but a lot of people do leave their dogs outside all the time. That's why kiddie pool is nice, so they can get in to cool off.
Perfect. Well, good. Anything else that you'd like to share with us?
If you're taking your dogs for a walk, if you try to do it early in the morning or late in the evening, because the pavement and the sidewalks get really hot, if you can't put your hand on it and hold it there, without it being uncomfortable, then that burns the dog's paws.
Very, very good tip. Unless you get them some tennis shoes.
Right.
And even then, you want them. It's so hot in the heat of the day. So. Yes. Well, good. Some really good recommendations. So let's not forget about our little furry friends. And thank you so much for being on today and joining us. And we will be right back. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols, and I've got Taylor Harmon with me today, and we are talking flag football at Park and Rec. Yes, this is like one of our very, yes, we love football time. Flag or tackle, doesn't really matter. It's football, Tennessee football. So tell us a little bit about how to sign up, the costs, and what the
this
ages.
year we're doing the same thing as we did last year. We're doing second and third grade group. We're doing fourth and fifth grade group, and we're also offering a middle school group. And you can go to bristoltn.recdesk.com, click on the programs tab. It'll be under youth programs. Same thing as we did last year. It's just a way of introducing the game of football to folks that maybe their parents think that they're maybe a little too small to put pads on, or maybe they just want their child to go out and have fun playing the game of football. So it's one of the least competitive leagues that we try to host. We want it to be all about fun, all about coming out and enjoying playing the game of football with your friends. So it's going to be a blast again this year.
And what about team names?
So it's through NFL Flag.
Okay.
So your team name is an NFL team that the team gets to pick. So last year we had the Titans and the Chiefs and the Vikings and we had 7 different teams last year. So, but yeah, each team gets to pick their NFL team, and you get the NFL jersey. So it's a really cool program. The NFL flag program has been around for a long time now, and it's really easy as far as volunteer coaches goes. They send a playbook out, so it's right there. You don't have to come up with plays in your head. We hand you all the materials that you need to host a practice. So it's super easy on the coaches, along with it's super fun for the players.
I was going to ask about that. Did you need some volunteers, some coaches?
Absolutely. Each team we will need a volunteer coach for. Of course, right now we're in the middle of registration, so we don't know how many teams we're going to have and that sort of thing, but each team will have their own coach, and we're looking to, even if it's a younger kid, to help out. We obviously need someone 18 or older to be the head coach, but all of these coaches would love to have a little help at practice, so we're looking for any and all.
That's great. I love it. And it starts in September. So registration is now, and then how long is the season?
So the season, again, it'll depend on how many teams and how many kids we have. Last year the season lasted about 6 weeks, which was playing one game most weeks, but 2 games on, I think, 1 or 2 different weeks they had 2 games. So we try to spread it out to not wear the parents out. That's another thing we're doing. We're only asking parents to give up 2 days a week, which for parents that know football, only 2 days a week is like half of what you typically spend in a football season. So we're asking parents on Tuesdays and Thursdays to either be at practice or be at a game. Other than that, your week is your week. And so that's another thing that we're trying to focus on, is not wearing the parents out.
That's great. And what about the cost?
So the cost is going to be $30 per kid, city residents. And that is jersey, that's everything included.
That's great, isn't it?
It's awesome.
Such a good program, and I
Yes.
know you've had a lot of success with it.
We have.
So I'm excited to hear that it's here to stay, and now you just need to sign up.
Yes, sign up on Rec Desk.
Great. Thank you so much for being with us today, and thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.